What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Nico Ali Walsh. Get this. Nico Ali Walsh fires back at Teofimo Lopez and Jake Paul's Circus League of Boxing. Okay? And Ali's grandson used his post-fight interview to hit out at those who felt that he was boxing as merely a cash grab. He says, one thing for sure I gotta clear. Teofimo Lopez said in an interview a few weeks before this fight, he disrespected my family, saying that I'm only in boxing because I'm desperate for money and fame. And I thought that was real wrong for someone I used to look up to say, said Walsh. But you know, it is what it is. I just want to let everyone know that I chose the path of boxing. I chose the path of legacy. If I wanted to, I could be a millionaire right now. Before the fight, I denied a multi-million-dollar contract from MVP Promotions to fight Jake Paul, and I'm fighting a real fighter tonight. I'm not a part of the Circus League of Boxing. That is the real league of boxing, and this is what I'm going to do. Walsh, of course, won on the cards 58-55, 57-56 on the other two, though Ali felt he had done enough to repeat his victory. Now, let me counterpunch. Teofimo Lopez is a real fighter. He's an outspoken fighter, him and his father. You know, his father trained him from yay high. And I think that someone like Nico Ali Walsh will always have to prove himself to guys like that. And he's going to have to do that throughout his career. Simply because he comes from boxing. He comes from boxing royalty, okay? And when you are second, third generation, which he's third generation, because Ali was the second generation to Ali, to Muhammad. So he's always going to have to prove himself. And that's in anything, though. You know, that's going to come with a lot of criticism. He's always going to be in the shadow of his grandfather and his aunt. You know, especially his grandfather, because his aunt, she got in, she got out. She has a cooking show. She's living large. She's living great. And she did the right things, you know, where Muhammad Ali was the pioneer that paved the way for everybody, including his family. And I think Teofimo Lopez knows what he's doing. I think he knows what he says. I think he feels that, you know, for him to say that, though, about cash grab, I don't think that's cool, because he doesn't know Nico Ali. He doesn't know Nico. Okay? And for him to say, oh, yeah, he's just doing it for a cash grab, it just shows you that maybe some residual feelings that he has in his own personal life is shining through. See, a lot of times, you know, if you don't know Teo's story was very common in boxing, where, yeah, he starts making the money, and then he starts getting railroaded. You know, people start coattailing, and that's exactly what happened. His wife's family wanted him to pay all the bills for them. Like they couldn't get off their ass and make a living for the damn selves. You know what I mean? It's only like 10 and 12 of them. You know what I mean? And that will empty anybody's banking account, taking care of all those damn people. Okay? So the man was, you know, he was in a dark place. You know, people were using him, and he was pretty much everything rested on his shoulders, which ain't fair to him. Okay? And so I try to see where people are coming from, and I see where Teo was coming from. I see him, you know, dealing with that type of stuff, and he looks at someone like Nico Ali Walsh like, oh, he's just doing it for a cash grab, because he's identifying Nico Ali Walsh with the people that he was dealing with his wife's people. You know what I mean? That was related to his wife. You know what I mean? So it's easy to do. It's easy to live in that land, in that mindset of bitterness, especially when you associate everybody's problems to your own. That's the only thing that I can talk about, because he didn't know Nico like that. You know what I mean? You have to think about it. Why in the hell would Nico want to fight for a cash grab when his family's already rich? They're not necessarily the Jacksons, but they got money. That boy could have done anything he wanted to do. And yeah, he could have fought Jake Paul and made millions. You know what I mean? Something that he's getting pissed off because he wants more and more. That's why he retired before. Bars. Right? So I think Nico had every right to say that, and I'm glad he made it clear. I'm glad, even though he's a young lad, he's speaking up for himself, and that's exactly what he needs to do in the sport. Because a lot of people will take shots at him because it's either jealousy or, it could be jealousy too. That he is the grandson of Muhammad Ali. And I know people, wish that was them, but at the same time, it ain't. Okay? So other people have to pave their own way. Even in my industry, okay, you have a lot of people that are second generation actors and second generation stunts and special effects and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And they get jobs or they get opportunities that other people don't get. So I do understand the frustration of Teo, but Teo's already where it needs to be. So for him to even say that, I can understand it if he was this poop-put-ass fighter that had no business talking Nico's name and say that about Nico because he's nowhere near Nico. That would be different. But this is Teofimo. This is the lineal light welterweight champion. So why the hell would he be talking about Nico Ali Walsh just because his granddad is Muhammad Ali? Okay, that's the only thing I think about when it comes to that. You know what I mean? But I'm glad that Nico made his statement, and for the record, I would love to see him and Jake Paul. You know what I mean? And the more people that keep talking shit about his money grabbing this and money grabbing that, I would take that. Because he ain't fighting Teo anyway. It would be different even if Teo was in the same weight class, then he could say, well, you ain't fighting me because I'm in your same weight class. Look, Teofimo's a smaller little dude. He's like Bruce Lee size. Okay, Nico Ali Walsh is like what? Light heavyweight? This man will be a cruiserweight in a couple years. He'll be in about 4 years. Nico Ali Walsh will probably campaign at heavyweight. Sure, all the Joshuas and the Furies and all those guys, they'll be gone by then. But this guy will be a heavyweight at some point because he's big. He's a big boy. Unlike Teo. Teo is not. So if it don't apply, let it fly. But you guys tell me what you think of Nico Ali Walsh blasting back at Teofimo Lopez, stating that he's only in the sport of boxing for a cash grab. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!